Bad news. The New York Jets just got their teeth kicked down their throat. In slightly better news, they just moved up for the 2026 NFL draft order, right? Well, all right. Postgame show. Well, that starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Austin Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to our post-game recap and analysis show of the Jets getting their teeth kicked down their throat by the New Orleans Saints. That was a tough watch, and I've been told that this was the easiest game remaining on the Jets schedule. Yikes. Well, that certainly didn't look that way during the game. Now, again, we'll get into all the numbers if you guys want about the Jets getting blown out. But the more important news, now that the Jets have taken another L, is the fact of the draft order, baby. Bring it up from our folks over at tankathon.com. Well, in slightly better news, the New York Jets, if the draft started today, would hold the 4th overall draft choice at 3-12 because of the Titans' upset win over the Kansas City Chiefs. The Jets have a significant strength of schedule advantage. Here's more good news. Next week, the Giants play the Raiders. One of those two teams, I'm being told, has to win, which then that means the Jets would leapfrog one of them. So, possible, maybe. And also, the Jets and Giants have the same strength of schedule. So whether the Raiders or Giants win, that would help the Jets. The Raiders also are about to play right now. Now, it seems unlikely they'd beat the Houston Texans, but hey, you probably would have said it was unlikely that the Titans would beat the Chiefs. Yet that happened. So you never know, folks. You never know. All right, so that's the draft order. Jets moved up a pick. And again, while they could have gotten more help, the Giants almost beat the Vikings but didn't. The Browns almost beat the Bills but didn't. So they could have gotten more help, but they got some help, and they lost themselves. So we'll see how this continues to matriculate moving forward. We'll check back in on that in a little bit. But this is a show by the people for the people. Let's get to the post-game show. The phone lines are open. That is the pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25. Let's get into all of it and more. Our first caller up is Heep here on the show. What's up, Heep?
Hey, Paul. Hey, so if the Giants and the Raiders tie, is that better for us than if one wins or
That's
the
a good
other?
point. Yeah, let me take another peek at this draft order to make sure. So Raiders would be, let's just assume they lose today. They'd be 2-13 and then 2-13-1. No. We need them to, we need a decisiveness. That is a good point, because then it makes you go, if we, now it would be interesting if we're tied, right? So we're 3-12. If they were 3-11-1, then would we get into machinations where it helps us for both of them to get out? But with both of them being a 2-win team, unfortunately, that would actually suck. I was about to say it'd make no difference. It would make a difference in a bad way. They'd both remain at the 2-win threshold. So no, that wouldn't help.
Yeah. So 8 sacks, huh? Was that Brady Cook or was that the offensive line? What was going on there?
Yes. Well, definitely Brady Cook holding on to the ball too long. There were so many. He should have just got rid of the ball or did something. I mean, I don't know. Throw the ball, throw it away. Your whatever the word I'm looking for, like a guy that's just waiting, security blanket, like the guy who's literally waiting just in case all hell's breaking loose. Like that guy should have been available for Brady. There was a couple of X stunts that they did that got the Jets where all of a sudden they're not just rushing 4 straight up. They're crisscrossing and causing pressure. They had a lot of unique blitzes, which doesn't surprise me. Brandon Staley is a little bit of a defensive mastermind over there with the Saints. So he was blitzing safeties. He was blitzing corners, and Brady wasn't identifying it. So he either got clean clocked without seeing it, or he saw it, but it was just a unblocked pressure. He's like, oh shit. I got to imagine if he was mic'd up, fuck me. And then, boop, and then he's coming after him and he had no answers for it. So that would be my assumption, which is too bad because again, the offensive line is the ones that on the final box score, right? The offensive line is the one that gave up all these sacks. But I think if we're playing the blame game and sort of spreading out some of the love, I think Brady Cook is responsible for some of these sacks where it results in an 8-sack day.
Yeah, I think you're right. What are you going to do?
Man.
Well, I guess I would not have liked to have lost in this fashion. I'm glad we didn't, win, but I would like to have seen a little more of a respectable
Yeah.
showing.
Especially because, again, I was told, hey, Paul, this is their most winnable game left on the schedule. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. And then to get our teeth kicked down our throat by 23 to the Saints team, with all due respect, I know before this result, they had won 2 in a row. They'd won 3 of 5 against pretty good opponents, but still, it's the Saints, man. And that we got smacked around like this, that does not bode well for a home game against the Patriots. That does not bode well for the final road game in Buffalo's building. If we thought this was ugly,
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay, we'll pick up our pieces and we'll go home, but we'll come back again next week.
Damn straight. We always will. Thank you, Hep. Appreciate you here on the program. Yikes. That was ugly. Very ugly. Back to the phone lines. Up next, our boy Troy Sturgis here on the show. What's up, Troy?
Hey, BG. That's a pretty bad game. I mean, really, where do we go? I mean, obviously we need a quarterback, but geez, we need a lot.
Definitely.
We need a lot more than just quarterback. And
there's no doubt about it. Yeah.
I was kind of with Hep. He kind of answered the question. Like I said, I'm just listening to you on the game.
Mm-hmm.
What's your eye test on our offensive line? Is it offensive line, you think, or shouldn't they pick some of them up?
They should. I can't blame it completely on Brady. He's not solely to blame for all 8 sacks. The Jets have to, especially like Josh Myers got slapped around a couple of times, and Indy has brought up that he's not a big fan of Josh Myers. But what I hope is that Josh Myers isn't our starting center next year. I think he's fine as the 6th guy, and every once in a while you have to rely on someone to step in a pinch. I'm okay with Josh Myers being that guy. To be the full-time starting center, I just think that maybe Britch is too big for his giddy up there. And so I would suggest that the Jets aggressively try to pursue a leader at center. Joe Tippmann's performed very well at right guard. And while we all wanted to be the center and continue Nick Mangold and Kevin Wise's legacy, with him playing so well at right guard, I don't want to keep being herky-jerky with him. I don't want to say, hey, guard this year, buddy. No, I'm just getting center. I'm just getting this position. I don't want to keep fucking around with them. So I would keep Tippmann at guard, and I try to find that center. Is it Tyler Linderbaum? Is it who is it out there in the universe? That's would be a big one for me. You got to feel good about your tackles. John Simpson's having a bad year, so that's unfortunate. Penalties, giving up sacks and stuff. But I think the Jets are going to have to make a choice. AVT or John Simpson? Rich Samiti reported this morning the Jets want to keep AVT, but at what price? How does that work? Is the feeling mutual? What does some numbers look like? Because if AVT comes back, I imagine he would go back to his original position. He'd let John Simpson walk unless he's cool competing for the job, which probably not. I'm sure he could get better money somewhere else. So that's what I'm curious about.
I think obviously in the first round, if we don't have to give up anything and we pick up a Mendoza, if he falls to us, if Moore's in the draft as well. If Moore's in the draft, I feel Mendoza's going to fall to us anyway.
Right, so that's what you should be rooting for. If you're a Jets fan, root for Oregon to keep making noise in the college football playoff, which is good for Dante Moore's profile, more likely than not. And then he would have no choice but to come into the draft, and then all of a sudden things should open up for the Jets.
And then obviously I think I forget, not off the top of my head, there's an offensive guard that's expected to go in the first round. He's like a top 18.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'm open to it. Sure.
We go quarterback and then guard, and then because I'm with you, I think Simpson's kind of slipping a lot, and then we need to do something with our defense. Seems like ever since we got rid of JFM, our defense has went south ever since.
Yeah. So, there's a correlation to be
I got to get off here. I'll
Appreciate it.
let you chat with somebody else.
All right. Thank you, Troy. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the call. I would say this. I haven't thought a lot about a guard at 18. I mean, to be honest, I haven't done any mock drafts. So I haven't been really thinking of anything outside of the quarterback stuff. But I'd probably try to get a guard a different way. No offense to whoever, whatever the offensive lineman you're referencing is. The Jets have just invested a first-round pick in Fashanu, a first-round pick in Membu. Tippmann was a top 50 pick. I'm an ABT's a first rounder too. I'm probably not investing another first rounder. You could good teams can find guards in the mid rounds. Good teams should be able to find a veteran to fill. I mean, John Simpson, right? He was a veteran they signed, and he was okay, and or not okay. Let me not undersell him. He was really good in year one. Year two, he's been more spotty. I think you can find a guard in a different way. So I'd probably avoid, unless this is Quentin Nelson, I'd probably avoid a guard in the first round. But it's an interesting thought, and I'm good for conversations. Back to the phone lines here. Phone lines are lining up. Up next, Brick City Jets here, baby. What's up, Brick?
Hey, what's up, BG? Hey, listen, man. I'm happy. Let me tell you why I'm happy.
Yeah, lay it on me. Okay.
Draft position. All we need is a little bit of luck. Let's hope the Titans win. Let's hope the Raiders win.
Yeah.
Get that number one pick.
I mean, look at it. The Titans have already won, so we're ahead of the Titans. Now the Giants and Raiders play each other next week, so one of them is going to win, so we can leapfrog them. And then the Browns and whoever the loser is are the two. So it can happen, man. It can happen.
Now, what if in this scenario we get the second overall pick? What is your thoughts on the second overall pick? Would that entice you to trade up one spot? I'm sorry, I'm at work. Entice you to trade up one spot, or would you take the second best quarterback, let's say Dante Moore or Ty Simpson, if we can't trade up to get Mendoza? Or if the Giants don't trade out that number one pick, do you think just sitting at 2, unless the Giants don't get like a world beater of picks, let's just say they don't want to trade out at all, they would get Ruben Bain or the guy from Ohio State with the number one overall pick. In that scenario, I think will be best for us Jet fans because we don't have to move any draft capital. We sitting there at 2. Mendoza just happens to drop in our lap. When that ever happens, rarely when it comes to us. What's your thoughts, BG?
Yeah, I mean, again, it would be super cool not to give up anything, right? We have all these picks. It'd be awesome to build around them. But if I wouldn't get cute. If I'm sitting at 2, let's say the Giants are the team, right? Because we want to hope that's not Raiders or Browns at number 1. Because I imagine if they love a quarterback, they're going to say, Paul, we don't give a bleep what picture. Because it just came out yesterday. Adam Schefter said ahead of that 2020 draft, the Dolphins offered the Bengals, who had the number 1 overall pick, which was Joe Burrow. They offered him 4 first-round picks, and Bengals didn't pick up the phone. So, if you have the quarterback needy team, they may not trade it no matter what. But let's say the Giants for that scenario, I'm like, all right, Giants, let's not fuck around here. You would love an extra pick to move down and take the same player you would take anyway. And we want the quarterback. We want to ensure no one trades up in that spot. Let's be real. We're not going to give you everything, but what do you want? Is it, I don't know what it would be for a 2-1 swap. Would they still have to give up a first? Maybe. But
I think I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. No. Is it like based off of number 1 and number 2? The point differential is what, like between 400 points, maybe?
Yeah, right. So it's 400 points on the 2-year point. The draft value chart, 2,600 to 3,000. So the draft chart doesn't say you'd have to give up a first, but maybe they force you to. But if, in all honesty, if all we give up is 1 first, I know it's 2 because you're giving them your other pick, which would be 2. So 2 first. If you're giving out 2 first, you get your franchise quarterback. We're still going to have 3 other first round picks plus you get the first round pick that you used a quarterback on. That's not bad. I do. I
wouldn't want to give up an extra first because if we do draft Mendoza in that scenario, I believe he needs another wide. Garrett Wilson needs some help. Batman needs a Robin out there.
That's
Cardell Tate, whoever top receiver in that Colts pick, because that Colts pick is going to move on up. I don't see Phillip Rivers is winning any games for them. But in the scenario you're just talking about, I believe if we talking with the Giants, I think we'll give up one of those second round picks.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, instead of a first, I'll do that all day. I'll say, hey Giants, hey, you can take the Cowboys 27th second round pick, and if they say, hey, and there's only a few 400 points, whatever, and it's a future second, I don't care. We got 3 first round picks. We can do whatever we want now. We can move up, we can move down, we can build, we can still build for the future, 28 and beyond. We can do whatever we want. So like I said, I'm happy. I don't like happy losing, but for once we didn't same old Justice situation, win the game and mess up our draft status so we can move up and use capital where we need every single pick. We need every single pick to fill out this roster. I believe the offense is not that far away. We just need a quarterback, another receiver, a ground game is going to click. Re-sign Breece Hall. I'll say maybe Isaiah Davis may be going or Braylon Allen may be going if we see a running back that we can build after Breece Hall. We don't have that on the roster. We don't have that threat on the roster right now. So yeah, let me get back to work. Salutes to you, BG, and the rest of the Jet community. I'll be watching. Let's go,
there he
Jets.
is. Brick City Jets, baby, joining us here on the program. Appreciate you, Brick. And yeah, again, in a perfect world, you don't want to give up anything if you end up at 2. Hey, I have the Texans Raiders game on here. Come on, Raiders. You can do it, baby. If the Raiders won, the Jets would leapfrog and move up in even another spot to 3. So that game's just kicking off right now. So Raiders upset would be awesome. It seems incredibly unlikely. They're 2-12. The Texans are 9-5. The Texans defense is insane. Again, it seems very unlikely that upset would happen. But hey, that's why you play the games. That would be wonderful. And then the following week, let the Giants beat the Raiders, and all of a sudden, the only thing that steps away from the Jets' number 1 overall pick is Cleveland. Cleveland nearly beat Buffalo. Buffalo is on upset alert today. So if they show that, maybe Buffalo or Cleveland, could upset Cincinnati in the final game of the season. Maybe something could still happen. So we can only hope. We can only hope. But over 400 people in the room, guys. Make sure you guys like the video. Let's keep going down the phone lines here. Up next, we have Frankie here on the show. Frankie,
how you doing, BG?
That was uncomfortable. But again, it's good knowing, wow, a pot shot for Geno Smith almost went to Brock Bowers for a big play. No, not a lot of time. Like if I'm walking down the street and I get mugged and my wallet gets stolen, I'm not like, well, at least I have a better pick. Like in my real life, there's not normally some rainbow silver lining to me getting the shit kicked out of me. So the fact that there is makes you go, I feel slightly better about it. That was embarrassing, though.
So I had my colonoscopy on Friday.
Oh,
and
wow.
watching this fucking game was, more painful than that.
God,
yeah, but it does go to show.
Okay.
That what I've been saying and what Alana's been saying this whole time is true. This team is so far away, talent-wise, from being good. And I am not moving up for anybody. I'm not giving away my picks. If anything, I move down to accumulate picks. If a quarterback comes to us, I'll take him. If more comes out. But this game, I mean, if you look at the stats of this game, we didn't win one category.
Yeah, let's see.
Maybe one. There might have been one, but it was.
All right. Let's
take a look at the stats. If I remember correctly, we didn't win any of them. It was horrible.
So let's go down all the stats here. The Jets, of course, lost. The important one, 29-6. They lost that one. Points. Yep, that one lost. First downs was 23-12. They lost that one. Third down conversion, Saints were 8 of 17. Jets were 2 of 15. Ugh, disgusting. The Saints had over 400 net yards of offense. Jets were at 195. Saints were in 78 plays. The Jets were in 63. The Saints had 5.3 per play. The Jets had 3.1. The Saints had 84 yards rushing. We had 64 yards rushing. We couldn't even beat them there where they weren't really running the ball. We couldn't beat them there. 328 passing yards to 130. That was gross. They sacked us 8 times. We sacked them 3 times. Oh, dear God. Yeah. I mean, I guess, wait, let me see. The only one I don't have in front of me, what is that one? Oh, no, the Jets ended up losing the turnover battle, too, because of Brady.
2-1.
Right. Yeah, so there you go.
So think about this. The New Orleans Saints, who are, they won 4 games now?
Five. That's our fifth.
Excuse me, five.
Yeah. Don't undersell them, okay?
They're not exactly a great team.
Right.
And they just put up 29 points against us.
They did, yep.
Okay, yep. And we could only score 6.
That's, yep, a couple of 3-pointers.
Right?
Yep.
What would have happened if we were playing the Buffalo Bills today or the New England Patriots? By the way, I get to go to that New England game next week.
I'll tell you
I'm
this.
going home. Unfortunately, unfortunately, I want to see my family.
Yeah, I guess so. Right, sure.
But unfortunately, I'm stuck going to this game next week.
I almost went. So the Jets reached out about something. I wonder how they found the tickets available. They reached out to me to offer me to go to this Jets Patriots thing because they wanted me to do something for them and do something. They said, hey, I think we can find the tickets at Jets Patriots game. In my head, I'm like, I'm sure you fucking can. But because of my family and they're still going to be here and me to bail on them to go to this game, I can't go. As much as I love to go to games no matter the circumstance because it was awesome going to week 5. I unfortunately will not be able to go to Jets Patriots. My family will still be here at the house when that game is happening, so I won't be able to go. But they did offer, and I was like, Jets Patriots. All right.
Yeah. Should be a nice game for the Patriots as they probably clinch the division that day. But
that would be brutal if that happens.
It's just gonna suck. I mean, the tailgate will be fun. Hopefully, it won't be real cold and tailgate will be good. But the rest is gonna suck. But this team, I mean, we talent wise, and I know Brady Cook ain't the answer, and maybe a
Definitely
backup
not.
first or whatever.
Lord,
But our offensive line didn't help them. Our defensive line wasn't that great. We still don't have a pick. It's like
right
like
now.
there's a lot.
We
of
broke that
holes,
history. That's right. We broke that history. We're the longest of any team in history in both consecutive games and to start. Wow, I forgot.
I mean,
so thank you for that.
It's sad, and
yeah.
I don't think next year is going to be that much better. I think it'll be. Hopefully, we see an improvement, but we need to just pile up picks. We need to pile up players, make decent trades, sign a couple good, free agents, and slowly build this thing because this team sucks and it needs to be turned over. I've been saying that for a while now, and it's just a matter. And we've had some injuries. I get it. We got some guys out. I can understand that. Definitely have a couple guys out, but it doesn't matter really who's. I mean, we've been getting blown out now, and it's not even fun watching the games anymore. It's just like this is stupid.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. If I don't,
thanks, bud.
I'll be traveling a lot this week, doing a lot of stuff with my daughter in the city and stuff. So if I don't see anybody, talk to anybody, everybody, I wish you a Merry Christmas and just, have fun with your families, have a good time with your families, and see what happens next week.
There we
when
go.
We play New
That's
England.
it.
Take it easy.
Boy. Yeah, thanks, pal. That'll be the home finale for the New York Jets against the New England Patriots. That's their home finale. Oh, dear God. Yeah. Ugh, the Patriots winning the division in MetLife. Ugh. And then the Bills, they're going to be motivated. Their final game is their final game in that building. Oh, dear God. Oh, boy. 29-6 is bad, but could it get worse? Oh, boy. All right, well, let's go back to the phone lines here. We're graced by the presence of the legendary Bob Lederer here on the show. Bob?
Well, we experienced the stale stench of success today.
Well, that's one way to describe it, yes.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not as sure about Simpson as I've been all season.
Okay. In a good or bad way?
Well, I mean, he wasn't guilty today, as I recall, of being offsides or anything, but of just making...
Oh, John Simpson. Oh,
John
yes.
Simpson.
I thought you were talking about Ty Simpson, Alabama quarterback.
No,
yes, John Simpson. Yes.
No, I didn't get a chance to watch Alabama the other night. Did you? And what did you think of him?
I didn't. So the only thing I got to see was the box score of like, wow, Oklahoma's up 17-0. Oh, wow, Ty Simpson up. Guess he's not what he's cracked up to be. Then I check again. I'm like, whoa, Alabama came back and won. So I'll have to go back and watch that tape later. So I did not get a chance to see it.
Yeah, I mean, because I understand after the first quarter, he played a pretty good game.
Oh, good for him.
But again, I talked to an Alabama fan here that I ran into a couple of weeks ago, and I said, is this guy, pro material for the team that really desperately needs him?
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me and said, the Jets? No, he's not the guy. He's not the guy.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, yesterday, I must relate this story to you. I'm sure you will not relate to it at all. But I was in synagogue yesterday, and there was part of a ceremony when they put the Torah back, into the ark. And somebody has to literally pick it up, and it's a very heavy lift. And I volunteered yesterday to do it because I've never done it before because I've always been afraid I might drop it or something else.
Sure.
But I volunteered, and a guy in front of me said, okay, what do you think? Are you confident you can do it? And I said, well, I'm not sure, but I think I should try. And he says, boy, you're really brimming with confidence. And I said, what do you expect from a Jets fan?
That's good. I like that.
That was pretty. I thought it was pretty good. But anyway, disappointing, how it really came apart late in the game.
Yeah.
Because I don't care if they give up field goals.
Sure.
Because it shows that, their red zone defense is pretty good. But as the
right.
on, The quality of the wide receivers on New Orleans and our inability to stick with them became glaringly obvious. Now, maybe because we're really shorthanded back there, not a lot of substitutions that they can make, and you probably get worn down. I mean, how many times did he throw the ball today? Did Chuck throw it like 55 times or something?
Oh, yeah, let's pull that up. I had that earlier in the middle of the game. At halftime, we had 30 attempts, 49 passing attempts.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Dear God. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly didn't have any interest in their running game because they figured they could just do whatever they wanted to with their passing game.
Accurate assessment, apparently.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Wow.
But, clearly they don't have enough depth, anywhere. Although, hey, for the second week in a row, we saw the cameo appearance of the tight end from Kansas City. And all they had to do was watch him block. So I watched him block, and he got in the way of the guy he was supposed to block. So
blessed be he.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, speaking of Kansas City, so Patrick Mahomes out for the season,
lost.
torn ACL. They did lose, and the Jets leapfrog the Titans. I'll bring up the draft order in a second. Gardner Minshew tore his ACL, and now he's going to be out for not only this season, but maybe all next season. And I know some Jet fans were interested in Gardner Minshew. I was sort of lukewarm on it, but now look at that. With the Titans winning, the Jets leapfrog the Titans. They are now 4th overall. So I saw Mahar Khalil ask about the draft order earlier. So here it is. This is up to date. Again, the Raiders are playing right now in front of me and scoreless, and the Raiders actually driving. So if Vegas can upset Houston, that would be magnificent. And the Jets would leapfrog Houston as well in the draft.
Boy, I was praying for the Giants because they came from behind and they had it tied up.
They could have beaten them.
They let it get away.
The good news is that the Giants and Raiders play each other, so they're 1-2 right now.
So we'll move up. Assuming we lose next week, we've got to move up at least one spot.
Correct. And if the Raiders win, so let's hope this happens. Raiders upset the Texans today. The Jets will move in front of them. Giants beat the Raiders next week. Jets move ahead of them, and then the only obstacle is Cleveland. And Cleveland looked very game. They nearly upset Buffalo today.
They gave them a tough game today.
Yeah.
They gave them a tough game today. Who does Cleveland play the last 2 weeks?
I believe it's Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. But I will double check that.
So they could give Cincinnati a game because their defense is pretty good.
Correct. Yeah, it is. It's a home game for Cleveland next week against Pittsburgh. I can see that. Aaron Rodgers, that old man defense against that could totally make sense. By the way, Geno Smith just threw a pick six to Derek Stingley. So that was a fun dream while it lasted for 30 seconds. So that's unlikely. Thank you, Geno, for that.
Beggars can't be choosy. We can't hope for too much.
How
did Shedeur Sanders perform today?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me pull up the old box score of that one. I did not get to watch that game. Obviously,
I didn't either. I know he had a couple of nice plays, but I didn't.
He must. I assume before I even look at the box score, I assume he must have played well to have them in the game. But that assumption looks like it'd be wrong. The picks look bad. He had 2 picks. He was 20 of 29, so completion percentage not bad. He only had 157 passing yards. He did lead the team in rushing. Wow. Okay. So 49 yards rushing. So he had a good rushing day too. So it looks like he had, a fair performance. And shout out to Malachi Corley, had 2 catches for 11 yards. Malachi.
Yeah. And I think the other thing today, although it isn't going to matter anymore, but pretty clearly Taylor Shuck is a keeper.
Sure.
And New Orleans, if they were ahead of us, they wouldn't be needing a quarterback.
Yeah, and now we're separated by 2 games, so 2 games to go. And let me check 492. Well, if we were tied, the Saints would actually leapfrog us in strength of schedule. So that won't be necessary because the Jets are not winning out, the Saints are not losing out, so that won't matter. But right, to your point, I had Saints people tell me they really like Tyler Shuck, and I can see why now. So, Saints are out of the quarterback conversation.
Looking at this chart you have up, the Jets and the Giants' strength of schedules are they virtually identical or are they identical?
They are identical right now at this point in time.
Okay.
So then it's going to come down. If they were tied, it actually, for those who don't know, it comes down to a coin flip. So that would be crazy for the number 1 overall pick. But a lot of games are going to happen now between now and then that are going to slightly adjust the strength of the schedule here, there, and everywhere. So we'll see what still has to happen before we get there.
So I think we really have to root for the Giants. Well, if you root for Las Vegas, and they win 3 games, and we've won 3 games. We're both 3-12, but their strength of schedule is tougher than ours, so they stay ahead of us.
No, it's the other way around. So if you have a weaker strength of schedule and you lose, you get the benefit when you're tied.
Okay.
So we're at 534, they're at 544. If the Raiders win, right, let's make this up because I don't think they're going to win. If they beat the Texans, the Jets would leapfrog them right now in time. They would jump to 4, we would jump to 3. So that could happen. So yeah, the strength of schedule. So yeah, what I would assume if the Raiders lose today as expected, I'm rooting like hell for the Raiders to beat the Giants over the weekend for 2 reasons. 1, you want the Jets to leapfrog the Raiders. 2, Giants don't need a quarterback, Raiders do. You'd rather if someone had to be at number 1 overall and it wasn't you, I'd rather be the Giants than the Raiders because the Giants would trade with the Jets. The Raiders, I don't think they would. So that would be the factors to me. So I'm a massive Raiders fan today and next week against the Giants.
So the other question here we should look up real quickly is how bad is Las Vegas's defense?
Oh God!
Because the Giants quarterback has a chance to have a good passing day against a bad defense.
That's true for sure. So yeah, that's not good.
So okay. Well, to be continued, but the hurt that I feel when the Jets lose is it's kind of stale today. It's just kind of sitting out there, and when New Orleans scored their first touchdown, I went, okay, now we're in good shape now because I don't think we're scoring a touchdown. I feel bad for Brady Cook because I think he is an NFL quarterback, probably no more than a number 3 at least now. But over the years, he could obviously get better. He had trouble today avoiding the pass rush, but what are you going to do about that? And 8 sacks, that's awful.
That's not good at all. So yeah, that's depressing. I will tell you, I remember, right, we're talking about like how do you feel when the Jets lose? When I was 11 years old, the Jets lost to the Baltimore Ravens, and I remember being in my room in the fetal position crying for an hour. I was like, oh my God, how devastating. My Jets lost to the Ravens. That's brutal and painful, and I don't know how I'm ever going to recover for this. And now I'm in the middle of all of this other losing that's happened since I was 10 years old with the Jets. And now it's just like I guess it depends, right? If the Jets were in the thick of the playoff race and they just lost like this, it's a devastating, oh my God, the Jets blew it. There's this level of complacency, acceptance. I don't know what it is for, with the season the Jets are having right now. It makes it a little easier to swallow, I guess, but still it is embarrassing.
Well, I became a Jets fan in '63, so I was 11. When the season started, I was 12.
All right.
And I was kind of professorial about the whole thing as they lost every week, because the thing that was really interesting to me in those days is how good are the best players on the Jets compared to the vaunted National Football League. Now, the first thing I figured out for myself was Curly Johnson, the punter, he's probably pretty damn good because he's just kicking the football.
Yeah, right.
That's all. I mean, but I later found out when I wrote the book, he took forever to kick the football. So whether he would have had a tougher time in the NFL is debatable. But then I just wondered, how good is Don Maynard?
Yeah.
He's racking up big numbers. How good is Snell? He was racking up big numbers as a rookie. And then when Namath came on, I wondered how good he was. And the only time that I really began to believe that Namath was the guy was when I read that before, when Lombardi retired, and the very next year the Jets were in the playoff chase, and Lombardi told an NFL guy, Namath is the only guy that if the NFL had to play him in a Super Bowl that we should be afraid of. And so that kind of convinced me that, okay, Joe is something special. And after the Jets won and after Minnesota won the second Super Bowl, it was clear to everybody that talent-wise, there really wasn't much difference between the two leagues. And that, in fact, Bob Talamini, who was the Jets' left offensive guard, said after the Super Bowl game, there's no doubt, nobody can make any argument anymore that talent-wise that we're any less than they are, because look what we just did. So I never went into a cocoon after the Jets would lose. I would just kind of, commiserate in my head for hours.
Yeah.
Okay, are we getting any better? Who do we play next week? What do they need to do to get better, and that sort of thing. And the process just became watching them have better records. Like I've said multiple times on our regular Friday meetings.
Sure.
They were 5-8-1 the first 3 years that we was the coach, and you had to wonder, well, they're getting better. Well, they were getting better. The talent was getting better, but so was the talent in the league. I have to admit that after today, I have some misgivings about Glenn that I haven't had in maybe 5 or 6 weeks. And by the way, I sent you a note during the game.
Oh, okay.
Ross Tucker, who I think is a really good color analyst.
Yes.
He spent a good 2 minutes in the fourth quarter today, basically slapping the backs of Jet fans and saying, guys, you guys are unbelievable. 15 years and you're not in the playoffs, and yet you continue to support this team and you believe in this team. And he actually said he had gone out of his way to talk to some Jet fans during the last couple of weeks. And he said, I'm astounded at the resilience, of these fans and their belief, in this team.
I saw your note once the game was over. I was catching up on a few things before I was getting into my work, and I met Ross Tucker randomly at an airport once. And we've followed each other on social media, but we've never done anything together.
He seems like a really nice guy, and I really like the way he dissects the game, because he's not just a guy who knows the offensive line, or he was a tight end, wasn't he, in the NFL?
That I can't remember what he was in the NFL.
But he gave you really good insight.
Offensive lineman, maybe? Let me see.
Maybe.
My gut says offensive lineman, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Let me go back.
But he gave really good insights about individual players making plays during the game. And I listened to the games pretty closely. And usually I'm not really terribly interested in what these guys have to say, because they don't seem to be telling me anything other than, oh, that was a big hit.
Right. Thanks, pal.
I can see that.
He was a defensive end in college and then flipped over to the offensive line. That's where he was in the NFL. So he was a hog molly.
Know both ways. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway,
so we'll have to see if we can link up with Ross. That'd be great.
I'll see if I can figure out how to contact him too. But he's a podcast he does.
He does the Ross Tucker podcast, correct?
Yeah, and that's probably the easiest way to get a hold of him.
That's probably true. So whether me or you reach out to it, that'd be wonderful.
All right, I'll see if I can reach him through the podcast, and
great.
See if we can get him to come on your show.
Let's do it, Bob. You're the best.
Coach. Hey, have yourself a good rest of the day, and rest up that voice, and take that injection of enthusiasm that I know you take every day.
That's true. I appreciate it. Thanks, Bob. Bob Lederer joining us here on the program. By the way, Bob's book over my left shoulder, right there, baby. The Super Bowl team that changed football forever, Beyond Broadway Joe. And Bob, happy holiday to you and yours. Again, we've got Christmas in 4 days. We'll see what is left under the tree for the Jets. Not sure. Back to the phone lines. Hey, it's EC, baby.
Hey, Paulie. Woohoo!
Yeah. Jesus.
I'm sorry, but if a good offensive coach comes along, everyone should be gone but Banjo.
Do you have someone in mind
for head coach? I don't give a shit what comes available. I don't give a shit what the league says. I don't give a fuck what the league says. They can kiss my ass. I want John Gruden.
Okay.
I don't trust this regime to A, draft the right guy, and B, coach them up. This team
It's J-E-T-S, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
I don't trust them. I don't trust them to draft the right guy. And if they do draft the right guy, I think they'll Sam Darnold him.
Well, that would suck.
Yeah, I don't trust them. They're not good. This team, the coaching is not good. How come with a lot of the same players, Saleh had this defense running around in circles over this defense? Running around in circles over this team.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to tell you. Even Bob is like not really happy with him anymore.
Which I can understand why. I mean, it's not pretty out there right now.
You give up almost 30 points to one of the worst teams in the league. Give me you know where I'm at with this.
Of course. Yeah, a lot of Jets are frustrated. Yeah.
I mean, it's just I want a head coach that has played in this, that has coached in this league, that has won in this league.
Mm-hmm.
Even Jim Schwartz would be better.
Jim Schwartz would be great. We'll see if he shakes free. Well, we lost easy. I don't know if it's a signal, if you went through a tunnel. I'm not sure what happened there. Well, everybody, I want to thank you for joining us here on the Postgame Show. Over 500 people in the room. Thank you guys for tuning in all day. We had 6 hours of live streaming content here. Appreciate everyone who joined in. Real quick, if you're just joining in, we'll give another look at the Tankathon update and what that means for the New York Jets. We'll have more on this tomorrow morning. I'll have more coverage, heavy on Jets articles and things of that nature in just a little bit here. Giants hold the number 1 overall pick. They're 2-13. Raiders are playing right now against the Texans. Gino already threw a pick 6. Oh, boy. Cleveland nearly upset Buffalo. That could give you some encouraging signs coming up. Titans upset the Chiefs. Jets leapfrog the Titans. Jets would pick 4th overall right now if the season started today. Jets' final 2 games on the season. At home against the Patriots. Yikes. At Buffalo for their final game in that stadium. So Jets are unlikely to win either of those games. All the Jets need is a little help, and they could pick a lot higher in this draft. Or the thing that will help is Giants and Raiders play each other next week. So there's a lot of opportunity for some wins, and we'll see if Cleveland can do the same. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Again, wins, losses, or anything in between, we're always here for you guys. We'll be back on tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Again, I want to give a massive shout-out to everyone that took time to join the show, whether it was live during the watch party or in the pregame or in the postgame. I get a real kick out of doing all this. And thank you. We picked up a few more subscribers, 8,218, which I'm always tickled by. So thank you so much, everybody, for all the support as we continue our chase to 10,000 subscribers. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll have some more coverage of all things New York Jets coming up a little bit later. Thanks.